All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a lesson on how the day of the Lord is going to be a time full of a whole lot of asses getting kicked, man. A whole lot of ass whoopings, a whole lot of time of people just getting judged second after second, minute after minute, hour after hour. And it's the judgment of the Lord, right? And there ain't going to be no mercy to any of these people out there in this world when this comes to pass, man, because you people deserve this judgment. And when you start to actually realize what righteousness is, right, you get angry with yourself initially because you're like, man, I'm not even righteous, but I'm trying. And then after that, you start to look at the world and be like, man, and these people definitely ain't righteous and they ain't trying, yet they actually think that they're good people, though. They actually think that they're more civilized, they're more understanding, that they're better than everybody else because ultimately they haven't been caught for their wickedness. That's the main reason why these people think they're good, because they haven't been caught. It's not because they actually are good people. It's because they haven't been caught to have their crimes revealed, man. They're better at hiding it. And when you watch the movie Scarface, right, and he's sitting in the hotel or the restaurant, right, and he's got all these people staring at him and that, after he buns out his wife, which he got her through adultery, by the way, so he's wicked as well. But which obviously he's wicked if you just watch the movies, all the stuff. But he's right when he says this about the people in the restaurant. He's like, he says to them like, "What are you all looking at, man? Right? What are you all looking at? You need people like me, so you can point your fingers and try and say, here, this is the bad guy, right?" But then he says, if I'm the bad guy, what does that make you? Good. But you ain't all good. You just know how to hide who you really are. But I don't have that problem, right? And that's what these people are like, man, in this world, man. They're better at hiding their wickedness. And that's why you got 3 million redacted files on this Epstein stuff, man. 3 million redacted files. You know how long it would take to build up that much of a case file, man? You're a demon. And then you're running around the earth pointing your finger at everybody else. And you've got this new trend of these YouTubers that do all this auditing and all of these kind of things in that, right? Where they go around recording nightlife, right? And what it reveals is that you Edomites are just violent, man. But when these Edomites are going around being violent, going upside each other's head, no one's ever got anything to say and applying it to their race. But when anyone that's of any other race does something, they'll be the first ones to try and apply that to the reason why they do things, man. And let's run it like how I normally say it, man. If the reason why so-called black people do all the crimes we do is because we're so-called black people, yeah, and we'll accept that for a second for the sake of this. Right now, I'll accept it, man. The reason why we do all the things what we do is because we're black, dark-skinned people. Okay, what's the reason why you do the things that you do then? What's the reason why you do all your crimes, man? Because you're always pointing your finger at everybody else, but what's the reason you do your crimes then? Because you're the one in charge of the earth. You can't even, if anyone was to say that so-called black people are in charge of the earth, you're a lying sack of trash, man. And I hope that Yahweh sends a thunderbolt through your front door, man, and lick you in your chest, just as you're about to leave on your happiest day of the week, man. Straight up. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear for all the people mourn. Does it sound like I'm having a good day right now? Or does it sound like I'm vexed in my soul, bro? Which one? Which one is it, man? And then all the average people in this world, they ain't even happy, but they're so wicked, right? That they just want a better portion of the wickedness. That's their only mourning and complaint. They're not complaining because the society is actually demonic. Their complaint is that they didn't get invited to a Diddy party, right? Oh, so you're trying to say that all I would have to do to get this record deal is do this? Okay, where's my invite? And that's that's the reason why he was able to do all the things that he did for so long, man. Because people's like, I ain't saying nothing because he ain't gonna invite me to the party otherwise. And the reason why I want to go to the party is to try and get in this music game because he gets all the stars there. So these people are wicked, man. And that's why the day of the Lord is going to be full of intense ass whooping. And so many of you people are going to get judged in that time. And so many of you, which has been, and you don't even realize you've been building up a tab. You've been building up a tab of how badly you're going to get judged, man. You don't even realize. It's been a long time coming, man. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that means that because wickedness never gets judged, right? And it always gets, people always able to get away with the things that they have did. It just ends up resulting in people being more and more evil and more less likely to be a good person, because when they wanted some justice or some mercy, there wasn't any. So then they say, okay, that must be just how the world is then. And that's why when you start talking about a righteous world, one of the things that people will say to you is, oh, so I see you're an idealist, are you? You're an idealist. You want an ideal world. Yeah, why wouldn't you want an ideal world, man? And the thing is, some of these people that will say, oh, so you're an idealist, you want an ideal world, these are the same Christians talking about some heaven. These are the same people that will call themselves Christian, would have had their grandchildren, their daughter, their son, what's it called, christened, man, baptized and all that. But they don't believe in God, though. They don't believe. I saw one video that one of the elder Ramar did, and I've watched several of those videos, and I was gonna do a video on that one time, but obviously I didn't, and Yahweh made him do a video on that instead of my videos that I was gonna do on it from like going back maybe months ago when I used to see those kind of videos. It's those videos where you have these people that come up to people in the with a camera and ask people, random people on the street, oh, do you believe in Jesus? Or do you believe in Jesus? I'll give you $100 if you can tell me one Bible verse. I'll give you $500 if you can tell me one Bible verse. And these, most of the time when it's an Edomite, they don't believe in Yahweh. They don't believe in the fake Messiah for starters, which is the Jesus. They don't believe in even that. They're like, nah, I don't really, nah, I'm sorry, I'm too busy right now. No, I don't. They're always nah. They're basically like, nah. They're always aggressive with it too. In their response, they're always sharp and aggressive. Nah, no, I don't. But then they'll be the same people that will try and be in front of a Hebrew Israelite, trying to tell them that God loves everybody. Because what you'll notice if you was able to put a camera on Esau, yeah, and just monitor how they go from one interaction to another. In one interaction, they'll tell that a guy like that comes up to them with a camera, no, I don't believe in no Jesus. But then they'll see a Muslim or something like that, right? And they'll tell them, this is a country, Christian country, you get out of here, right? But then they'll see a Hebrew Israelite, and then they'll say, God loves everybody. But then at their realest, most honest, they was talking was when they said that they don't even believe in the Messiah. But then to try and win another situation, they'll try and throw their Bible at somebody. And then to try and win another situation, they'll try and twist the Bible. You see? They're just evil demons, man. From the moment they're born, man. But they'll be the first one to try and point their finger and look at and assess everybody else and tell everybody else that they're wicked. No, you are, man. You're the one that's wicked. Going around pointing your fingers, telling everybody else that they are when you are. It's you. And that's why the day of the Lord, man, is going to have a whole bunch of intense ass weapons, and it's going to confuse Esau, because he's going to realize, man, why isn't my magic working anymore? Why ain't all my spells working that I used to do? It used to be that I just said this and I said that and I said this and I said that and I did this false flag and I made this celebrity pass away, right? And then I released this. I made these particular a police officer here or there do this to these particular people, this particular race, and then now they're marching all the time, right? And so they forgot about that, and people just forget about what I'm talking about. It's not working. People are just like, forget that thing that you're talking about over there. I'm still focusing on the main thing. What you're saying about this though, and he's gonna start to realize that the only reason why it ever worked was because Yahweh made it work, man. When you go back to the story of Exodus, right, and you had Moses against the Pharaoh's magicians, the only reason why those things that Pharaoh's magicians were doing is because Yahweh made them work for that time. Because if somebody tried to do those exact same things right now, it ain't necessarily going to work for them, right? It's not because there's actually any power in those things in itself. It's because Yahweh, to trick these nations and to raise them up so he can bring them down, makes those things work. But then the time comes where there's not going to work again, right? And the proof is going to be, which I'm going to read this prophecy right here. Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. So, okay, all the things that you used to do when you begin in America, right? All the spells, all the witchcraft, all those things you used to do at the beginning, try them now and see if it's going to work, man. Right? All the things that I used to allow you to get away. There used to be a time when I'd make you do this and do that, drop this blood here, drop that thing there, do that and do this, right? And then I'd show you an evil spirit that I've made, and I'd allow you to have some power, right? And I'd make you think that doing that same actual order of the things that you did actually would actually make this stuff work every single time. And I tricked you, and I made you think that there's actually power in that. But okay, try it now and see if it's going to work then. Since you think that there's power in that, since you believed it, try it now. When I'm saying that it's not going to work, try and make it have power now. And it's not going to. It's not going to, man. Esau can try it. Esau's going to have all the time he wants in the kingdom when he's on the Sabbath to try and see it, okay, it's a Sabbath now. Let's try and pray to Baal and let's see if he's going to come and save us out of this captivity that the Israelites have got us in. You think he's coming? Baal ain't going to come. He might come to tell him, listen, man, y'all are fucked. Don't you know these are the children of Israel? Y'all are done, man. Y'all are done out here. These are the children of Israel, bro. You ain't getting no mercy out here. There ain't no help's coming. That's the only thing that they might be getting told. Ain't no help coming, man. Ain't no help coming. Verse 13, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee, and it ain't gonna work. Right? It ain't gonna work, man. You're just gonna be miserable out here, looking stupid as hell. And the day of the Lord is coming with a whole lot of ass whoopings, man. A whole lot of ass whooping, a whole lot of ass kicking, man. Yahweh Shai is gonna kick Esau's ass at the highest level, right? On the war, on the army side of things. But there's gonna be civil war where Esau is gonna be getting his ass kicked, and Esau is gonna be kicking ass. Women are gonna be getting their ass kicked. Old people are gonna be getting their ass kicked. Israelites, Jacob, trouble, they're gonna be getting your ass kicked, man. There's going to be a whole lot of judgment in the day of the Lord's wrath, and it's not going to be like you're not prepped for it, man. 2 chapter 15 and let's jump straight to verse, in fact, I'll jump to verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able, but because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Right? This is what's going to be happening. Ass whoopings all over the place, man. And there's plenty of ways that you can get your ass whooped outside of somebody putting their hands on you, man. Because if you go through a famine, guess what? You're getting your ass whooped when you go through a famine. When you're in a famine, you're getting your ass whooped, man. But your body, guess who's kicking your ass? Yourself. It's like Jim Carrey and Liar, man, where he's busting his head off the hand dryer, rubbing soap in his eyes, and that Edomite with the glasses comes through and is like, what on earth are you doing? And he turns to him and goes, I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind? Right? That's what's going That's a funny ass scene. But anyway, like, that's what's going to be happening to your body if you're destined to go for a starving of famine, man. Your own body's going to be kicking your ass. Muscles, we don't need those. Abs, heavy abs, nah. Hadouken, nah, we don't need that, right? Lungs, well, we can shrink those. What about Tsitsuki? You know, all them Street Fighter techniques. Just dust, your own body's gonna be kicking your own ass, man. So, and it's gonna it will get to the point for those kind of people that you'll be like, man, I wish I would have just been unalive by a gun instead of this. But something's gonna be trying to tell you to keep fighting, to try and like thinking that you're gonna end up getting some survival, and the survival ain't gonna come. And then it's gonna get to a point where for those people that they're so weak that they can't even move. That they can't even move, man. And some of these people are gonna be Edomites. Some of these people might be people that was previously obese, man. And at first when the weight loss comes, I might be grateful for the weight loss. Oh, this apocalypse has actually got me figure back. been a while since I've been able to see my toes from standing. And then it's going to get to, man, but my ribs are looking like some xylophone keys out here. And then it's going to get real disgusting out here, man. Heavy judgments coming for all you scumbag people, man, that go throughout your day-to-day life thinking that you're good people and you're not good people, man. You're envious of people, you're covetous, you lie, you cheat, you steal. You judge the Israelites, right, for their and make it about their race. But then when you do things wrong, you don't want it to be judged about your race. You're hypocrites, right? All like for you wicked ass women, you proud women. Judgment's coming for you. You already don't know that that's happening. And this is what this video is about, man. The day of the Lord is about intense ass whooping, man. So if you want to escape that, right, you better turn to the Lord, because you're not bad to be enough to be able to handle this day. I don't care who you think you are. Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 3. And this is for Israelites, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? And anybody that's father descends from one of those people on this earth, and anybody that in their spirit feels, man, this is true, you know. There is something dark, a dark time coming, and the reason why you might be accepting that there's a dark time coming is because you're also a children of Israel. You just don't know. You just don't know who you are. Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 3. Seek ye Yahweh, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yahweh's anger, and Yahweh is going to bring the anger. Yahweh is normally calm, man. The last time Yahweh did anything that he's like what he's going to do now was the flood. That's how long he's been kind of containing his anger. He's been handing out little judgments here and there, but the last time he's ever did anything to the same level as what he's going to do was the flood, which we can read about in the Bible. I'm going to end the video there, man. The day of the Lord is going to be full of a whole lot of people getting their ass kicked, man. Shalom.